Hi, my name's Louise, and today I'm going to go through a video that talks about how our tracking system works and what to expect if you're a race director on the ground using our system for the first time. So in this, I'm going to cover turning the trackers on and off, how to hand them out, where people should be carrying them, and then also a little bit about the returns process, getting them back to us. So first of all, you'll receive the trackers in a large black box. This will be done up with a zip tie, so make sure you've got some clips to undo that at the event. One of the main jobs that you're going to need to do as a race director or to allocate to your volunteers is to turn all of the trackers on with enough time for them to register and be problem solved before your event begins. Turning them on does take some time, and time needs to be allocated for this. Generally, we can turn on about 100 in 15 minutes, so 15 to 20 minutes. So one person, if you work on that and then work out the amount of time that you need, making sure that the last one's actually turned on at least 45 minutes before the start of your event, or before you're going to hand them out. So these are the trackers. They'll arrive in a heat seal plastic bag. Please leave that on. That's what actually provides the waterproofing for them. If you're running an ocean ski event or any event where the trackers are going to get wet, this will actually be double or triple bagged. But most events just have this single outer layer. The biggest thing is you'll see it's actually a little bit hard to locate the on button. First of all, it's not this one. This is the SOS button. The on button is located just above the GPS. There's a little, if you feel here, there's like an indent, or you can actually see it when you've got the tracker. You find that, and then the trick is you press and hold down for up to 4 seconds, and what we're looking for is for the lights to come on. Some of the newer trackers, you actually have to hold them on for 3 or 4 seconds before the lights come on. So don't just press them harder thinking that they'll come on. It's just a matter of holding down for a certain period of time. You can use like a blunt object to help you if your fingers get a little bit sore in that process, or even better, just bring in a bunch of volunteers to help you do that. Once they're on, it's going to go through a process where it's locating satellites, and it's also joining onto the cellular network. As I said, we want lots of time for it to be able to connect to make the whole process and the whole race a lot smoother. Keep them on a table outside with full view of the sky if you can, or inside next to a window should work fine as well. And of course, they're not, when you're handing them out, you need to be in an area with mobile reception, otherwise we're not going to see them on the map. If your event starts somewhere without mobile reception, just talk to us and we'll come up with a workaround for you. Now, while I've got it, I'm going to show you turning this off. Generally, at the end of the event, there's multiple ways for you to turn this off. First of all, if you've collected them all in at the finish line, then we can send a blanket command to all of the trackers and turn them off remotely, which is kind of nice and neat. The next thing is that if you have a PDA, then what you can do is you can actually scan the tracker, which will not only tell us, hey, that tracker's been returned and is sitting at the finish line, but it will also automatically turn the tracker off. So that's a really great one, particularly if you've lost a few trackers that have headed out into other places. It means that what we'll do is we want to shift those ones onto a different map so we can keep an eye on them and make sure that we get all of those back. But the straight out manual way of turning them off is, again, you're looking for that button at the top, and I'm going to press and hold for 3 or 4 seconds, and I'm waiting for the red light to start flashing, which it is. Great. And then I can put that to the side. Sometimes it can take 2 or 3 minutes for that to actually turn off. So don't worry about it. Just give it time. Main thing is fast flashing light means that's in the process of turning off. As I said, most of the time you don't actually have to turn them off, but if you want to, that's how it's done. Okay, now carrying the trackers. Generally, we're using trackers that require mobile network to work, but they only need the tiniest amount of range for them to actually send the minuscule amounts of data out that we need to update the maps. So if you're operating in an area with excellent mobile coverage, think of it like a mobile phone. You can carry it anywhere that you could carry a mobile phone and it's going to get reception. Most of the events that we work with, there are a lot of people work in fringe areas though, so you need to position the trackers. If you're in this situation, you need to position the trackers in a spot where you're giving it the best chance to get that signal out. So a couple of examples are, if someone's carrying a backpack like this one, you can see there's a couple of different pockets here. This one's a nice top pocket, doesn't go in very far. This is a absolutely perfect place to put the tracker in. Done. If I was in a fringe area, I wouldn't go for this outside pocket because you can see that a competitor could lose it all the way down in the bottom of the bag, and it's just going to make it harder to find reception. With that, in particular, a lot of people carry emergency blankets. If you're in a fringe area and this ends up in the bottom of the pack with one of these above it, it's going to make it really, really difficult for this to be able to get signal. A lot of trail running events have pockets in the shoulders of the backpack. Great place to be able to put it. Also makes it easier to get it back at the finish line because they're very visible and you can take them back. It might be worth having some electric tape at the finish line so that some of the Salomon trail running packs, I think it is, often have a beautiful pocket here, but it's worth putting a strap of electrical tape on it just to seal that shoulder pocket up because it's open on one side. Other options are if you've got a straight road riding race or a mountain bike race where people are wearing bike jerseys. Great spot for them is right down in the pockets that most people have on the back of their jersey. Works a treat. You've just got to be aware that, again, and this only matters in fringe areas, if someone's leaning over, if you positioning it in a pocket, on a waist strap that's at the front, then the body's actually going to be shielding that signal from the sky. If you're running an event where people aren't carrying bags and consistent places to run it, just let us know and we can send you out some of these. These are just runner's waist straps. So we've used these in ski races and also in a lot of endurance horse racing events as well. So that's another option. There's a lot of different options, so just talk to us and we'll run through what we think will work the best. We've taped them to boats before, we've taped them onto bikes before as well. There's a whole range of different things that you can do. Okay, at the finish line, I did talk about the different ways of turning it off. Probably one of the biggest headaches that we want you to avoid is when you hand these out. It's great, they're all out and running, but you need to have a system at the finish line to bring them back in. If everybody starts going home with them, that's just where things get complicated and a lot more work, and the last thing that you want to do at the end of the event, chasing those up. So make sure that you've got a strategy at the end to be able to bring these in, get all your volleys sorted out with the system, and then yeah, it should work quite well. If you'd like to learn more about how our PDA works and how we use that to allocate these trackers to people, stay tuned.